Hey everybody, it's me, Farham. We're here with some Path of Exile 2, going over the upcoming plans for patch 0.2.1. So this is going to be a big patch. We're typically getting 0.2.0 point letter patches. So to have a 0.2.1 patch indicates to me, from my nerdy software development head, that this is going to contain significant feature updates and changes. And as we read through this, it does start to become really apparent that it probably is. So bit of a foreword first. They were talking about how they've increased the drop rates, but actually something was amiss here, that some of the really, really good chase uniques just weren't dropping enough. That's going to be changed significantly. We're going to see a lot more of the chase uniques being dropped. So unique items, we're going to be significantly improving both the drop rates of the incredibly rare unique items we already have, as well as adding a bunch of new exciting and chase uniques that will take your builds to new heights. This is great because I think there's quite limited number of builds at the moment. We look at softcore trade, about 50% of people are playing Lightning Spear, myself included, right? So if there's some uniques that manage to push us away from that and into some other builds, that will be actually fantastic. Obviously there are other builds out there, but just to put a bit of variety in there would be good. They're also buffing some of the rarer uniques that were intended to chase but didn't live up to that standard. What I'm really hoping they mean there is buffing some of the drops that come from the existing endgame content. It'd be nice to see the mana flask get some of its power back, something like that. But we're going to see significantly more of the chase uniques, and they're getting updated. This is great. By the way, the patch is due to drop at the end of next week, so we've got about a week to wait for this. Crafting socketables. So they added quite a few socketables in this league with the ones that give you stats, and this was all really good for early game and balancing your character into the early game, but kind of loses its focus end game. Everyone's just running like rarity ones in their chest and stuff, or just running iron runes everywhere for more defenses, right? But they're adding 22 new runes, 14 new soul cores, and 7 talismans. These are going to cover the full spectrum from powerful to insane. That's a bit of a bold statement. They're rare to find, hopefully not as rare to find as the chase uniques were, so hopefully they've got the balance there right with all of the work they've done over drops in the last couple of patches. That'll be good. Ways to socket and customize your items. They've said that they want that to be sort of like the sort of tweaking and the perfecting of a character to come through that system, so hopefully there are some things going there that are truly on the powerful and insane end of the spectrum. Ritual is getting a buff. We'll see the same number of omens, but they're going to increase the number of the higher tier omens that we see. That's great. Corrupted essences, they're going to increase the commonality of getting corrupted essences when using Val Orbs on monsters trapped in essences by approximately 6 times. That's good. I've only ever seen 1. So seeing some more of those would be great. Rogue Exiles just don't have enough unique items. These are going to get buffed. They will now have approximately 3 times the amount of uniques. I wonder if this is going to result in some Rogue Exiles that are like absolute like god tier, just ruin your whole map. I bet it will, but you know what, sometimes that's the fun unless you're playing on hardcore. Be interested to see what sort of combinations they get, or if it's truly random. The Twisted Domain is also getting an update here. It's pretty valuable, but was pretty underwhelming compared to the other content you're doing at the time. Pinnacle content shouldn't be giving less rewards than the dozens of maps required to gain to access it. To start with, we've substantially increased the number of rare monsters that spawn during the domain. Previously, there would often be no rare monsters at all. I normally get 3 or 4. In addition, we have changed the balance of the quantity and rarity that monsters in the domain have. This will mean that the large drop of items that occurs right before the boss fight should now be way more valuable than before. That's good, because I was typically only seeing essences there, particularly with a strict filter, and very rarely seeing things like divines or currencies, so it'd be nice to see some of that start appearing. We now also guarantee some rare breach rings in the resulting drop. No, you should be guaranteeing some white breach rings and letting us craft our own. We don't want the pre-rolled rare ones. Boo. But yeah, they're going to improve the drop rate of breach, which is good. It's already got really cheap to run, so maybe that'll start swinging the value of splinters up again, because they got very, very cheap with the last update. Expedition logbooks are... Do you know what? One moment, caller. Alright, I summoned my pet cat parrot thing to help, because this was a long read. To summarize, there's a general improvement where you're going to be able to place the explosives further apart, allowing you to uncover more of the map, specialize where you want to go, uncover what you want. Lush Isles is having an improvement where they're increasing the number of remnants, especially the experienced ones, and there'll be more fenced off sections where you can get the Karai totems. Destroying Any of those will cause monsters on Earth afterwards to spawn corruption monsters, so you can get more and more monsters. Frigid Bluffs, that's going to have Val monsters and Val remnants, and the ability there to spawn Val bosses, which will have better drops. Sounds pretty good. And the Baron Atoll, that is going to get a big update on the amount of gold and the amount of strong boxes that are generated. 10 times as many. So basically you're going to see the 3 logbook areas having specialists. You've got the Lush Isle, which is going to be for currency drops. You're going to have the Icy Tundra, which is going to be for fighting specific Val bosses. And then you're going to have the Baron Atoll, which is going to be for strong boxes and gold. And they're going to be much more heavily specialized at those particular things. So they, rather than everyone just running the Lush Isles, because you get the currency drops at the moment, there might be more reason to run all 3. So that's pretty good, because at the moment I think only Lush Isles really get much love. Next thing they're doing is just a variety of endgame improvements. I did not know that out of 400,000 maps, 150,000 of them would be Hidden Grotto, but apparently this is the case. So they're going to sort of spread out a generation of maps. Citadel spawning's been adjusted, although must be said that you're going to have to explore out from where you are now to start seeing that procedural generation change. There's other endgame improvements, reducing the danger of the 2 ritual types that were a ruckus of purple explosions, and reducing the danger, increasing the telegraphing of the volatile plants monster modifier. Combined, these were responsible for over half the player deaths in the endgame. Yeah, CI is strong, you know, CI is good. Lowering some of the more dangerous map modifiers like elemental penetration to be more in line with others. That's good, because I don't really like those ones. Improving the rewards and visibility of omens in the Viridian Wildwood unique map. Increasing the radius to open clasped hands in breaches. That's good, because you have to like, run straight into them. Reducing the pack size of the bats that shotgun you with projectiles in the Twisted Domain. And reworking the curse map mods to have counterplay. These are just some of the more isolated improvements coming. So there's going to be a number of improvements over the endgame, tweaking down some of the more gnarly mods so that things are a bit more balanced there on the difficulty. Trial of the Sechamus, this is a really good change. So there was an affliction which would make you have no energy shield, which if you were CI would just be a run ender, which meant if you were playing a CI build, you could never take the one that gave you any sort of random afflictions because you could just end your run. That's now good. That's now been changed, so it only reduces your energy shield in half, so it's going to have less sort of my run is over moments in Sechamas for CI builds. Apparently there's 1 affliction, 2 minor boons, 1 major boon, and 1 pack that had 100 times the commonality they should have had. Yeah, that makes sense. Which one was it? It was one that gave you honor on floor complete or something kept coming up. That was pretty terrible. There's some more quality of life changes. This is great, and user experience changes. So they're adding the ability to search the passive tree, and then you can type something in, press enter, it will just loop you through around all the passives that match your search. That's good. They're also inverting the display of the tier numbers. So at the moment, if something went up, say, tier 1 to 13, like life tier 13 would be the best. Now tier 1 will be the best. So when you're looking for parity, 1 is always going to be the best. And something's always going to have a tier 1 rate. Even if it's only got 4 possible tiers, it can have 13 possible tiers. 1's going to be the best. You're not going to go like, is 4 the best, or does this modifier have a 5th tier? So I think that's a really good change on quality of life. That's amazing. On an atlas, when you hover over a map, it will separate the categories of modifiers displayed so you can more easily see where those modifiers are coming from. Specifically, you can now determine if they're from corrupted or cleansed influence in one category, and if they're from towers in another category. This will help make it clearer when looking for specific modifiers like +1 level. Oh, that's really nice, because that was a pain in the ass to find. Performance increases are coming. That's great. I really brought a brand new PC because the performance of this game is so bad, but cool. Now maybe my PC will last more than a year. And they made some improvements to the shop and cosmetics panel as well. So this sounds like it's going to be a really big patch. I think I'm most excited for the uniques changes. I think if some good chase new uniques come in, and if they fix some of the uniques that drop from the existing in-game content, they'll really spice things back up. There'll be more to do than just mapping. Overall, this sounds like more positive steps in the right direction, and it actually does sound like they're listening actively to what the community is asking for, and possibly seeing where the dips in players are. I think there's a lot less players doing the end game content at the moment. You can tell from the prices at Alva. Hopefully it's a good one, guys. Looking forward to it. Hope you've enjoyed my take on this. Yeah, don't forget to give the video a like. It really helps in the algorithm and all of that. And if you're not subscribed yet, why not hit that subscribe button? It's free and stuff. I'll catch you in the next video.